Planning a trip to Malaysia. In this episode, Doug and I share our full 13-day itinerary through Kuala Lumpur, Penang and Ipoh, plus practical tips to help you make the most of your time. Hi and welcome to the Global Travel Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Collins, who with my expert guests will take you on a weekly journey to destinations around the globe, providing travel inspiration, itinerary ideas, practical tips and more to help you plan your next travel adventure. Hi and welcome to episode 67 of the Global Travel Planning Podcast. In today's episode, Doug and I are sharing all the details of our recent trip to Malaysia, a 13-day journey through Kuala Lumpur, Penang and Ipoh. We'll walk you through exactly what we did day by day, including how we got around, where we stayed and what we saw, and of course, we ate.
What we ate.
Yeah, we ate a lot. Whether you're planning your first trip to Malaysia or just curious about what it's like to travel there independently by train, we planned this all ourselves, as always. This episode is packed with tips, stories, and lessons we learned along the way, including some of the mistakes we made and some of the things we definitely would do again. We both love Penang, don't we?
We do.
There's a bit of a spoiler alert
we do.
there. Anyway, we're going to chat through each of kind of day by day what we did and give you a basic overall of our trip. So let's get talking all about Malaysia. So I guess the background to us actually going back to Malaysia, because it wasn't our first visit, was it, Doug?
No, we went about 8 years ago on our way to Australia.
Yeah, we did. When we emigrated to Australia in 2017, we actually travelled through Malaysia. We went to Penang and then to Kuala Lumpur, and then actually did the same as we did this trip. Got the bus to Singapore.
We did. We fell in love with the place the first time we visited, though, didn't we?
Oh, we did. Yeah, we both really love Malaysia, and we were really excited about being able to include it in our itinerary. So if you've listened back to episode 62, you'll know that we had basically planned to travel back from Europe to Australia via a number of different destinations. So some destinations in Europe. We also went to some destinations in the Middle East, and then we ended up in Asia before arriving back in Australia. Basically, Malaysia was nearly our second last stop before we got back to Australia.
Yeah.
So we flew in from Sri Lanka.
We did. It was a night flight.
It was overnight, which I don't like flying anyway, which everybody always thinks is really funny, but I really don't. But I'd actually put a bid in for an upgrade on Malaysian Airways to business class. So we did your first business class flight, Doug.
That's right, my first ever one. And guess what? I never want to go back to do anything else.
But business class, well, that's not going to happen.
That's not really
No, it's just too expensive, unless you get a bid, which was really good. Anyway, so what we did have on that flight, which was amazing, were the very famous Malaysian satay chicken and skewers, and we had those on the flight. You get those in business class, and honestly, that immediately. I love Malaysian food anyway. That just got us even more excited about the food.
That's true, it did.
So basically, we were in Malaysia from the 26th of April till the 8th of May. So we had 12 days there. And when we would plan our itinerary, we were kind of deciding where to go, weren't we?
Yeah. Turning around, it was where we're going to leave out.
Well, I guess. Well, yeah, because actually we wanted to go everywhere in Malaysia. And we actually looked at Borneo at one point, didn't we? There's just so many places to go. So we knew we loved Penang, and we knew we wanted to go back to Penang, didn't we?
We knew we were going to work our way back there. Yeah.
So basically, to give you a quick overview of the trip, we flew into Kuala Lumpur. We then took the train up to Penang, and then we went back to Kuala Lumpur, but via Ipoh, which we decided that was somewhere we hadn't been before, and we thought we'd actually stop off there for a few days.
And
so that's what we did.
Somewhere new.
Yeah. So anyway, when we arrived in Kuala Lumpur, we'd been before, so we didn't necessarily do a lot of the kind of touristy things because we'd done it.
Right. The Batu Caves we did last time at length. So we stayed quite close to the Petronas Towers.
Again, because we like that area.
But we actually arrived in torrential rain.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was actually quite bad weather, but we'd organised a transfer from the airport. We always do that. It's one of my tips. If I'm even in an airport I know, even in a place I know, I like to be picked up and taken to my hotel. And it was an overnight flight still, so you're tired. Yeah. Anyway, we actually chose to stay in the Crowne Plaza in the centre of Kuala Lumpur, and they very kindly let us check in at 9 a.m. So thank you so much for the staff at the Crowne Plaza. It was actually a lovely stay. Really enjoyed it. Some lovely, lovely staff.
That's right.
And also it's a really well-positioned hotel in that it's like 5 minutes walk to Petronas Towers.
That's it. About 5 to 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we did on the first day get a Grab app.
Well,
so
it's because it was raining.
it was raining,
Yeah.
but after that we didn't because it literally is like 5-10 minute walk around the corner. So, if you haven't been to Kuala Lumpur before, I would highly recommend staying in that area.
Most definitely. There's lots of restaurants and cafes, and not to mention there's shopping malls around the Petronas Towers themselves.
Yeah, lots to do, and pretty good transport as well. I mean, we just spent a couple of days there. Actually, we caught up with Shelley, one of our ladies who travels, she'd flown into Kuala Lumpur to see us from Penang, from actually Bangkok. So we had a good chance to talk about planning for the podcast episodes for the rest of the year with Shelley, so that was really cool. Yeah. But anyway, so that was a bit of a personal aside business, but then we went the next day to, I think it was day 3, then we headed to Penang.
We did. We caught the train, went from Kuala Lumpur Central, so we booked the tickets, and we managed to get a first class ticket for that one. So we're very, very lucky. We found ourselves in the Ruby Lounge, which is complimentary if you're booking a first class ticket, and it's very posh. There's food and drink available. And then they actually escort you down to the train before everybody else gets on board, which is makes you feel like royalty.
That's true. That is true.
And it was really nice. There's meal included. There's an entertainment unit on the seat, which sort of plops up like an airplane.
Yeah, it was very good. I was very surprised at how. I mean, it was really amazing, and the food was good.
The food was excellent. Yeah, the train journey time was about 4 hours. We took a little bit longer. I think a tiny bit delayed, but a lovely journey.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and we have got lots of video from that. So we'll be putting some video on the YouTube channel of that, and that took about 4 hours.
Yeah, just over 4 hours, and you catch the train to Butterworth.
Yeah.
And then you have to walk 5 minutes or so to the port and catch the ferry across, which takes about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, and this is the first time we've done the ferry, because the last time we stayed in Penang, we actually just got a taxi to the hotel. We stayed in the same hotel this time, but this time, because our daughter had actually been she did it about a year and a half ago, and she was like, "Oh, just take the ferry." So we thought, well, why not? We'll do the ferry. We've taken the taxi. Let's try the ferry.
And we were travelling very light at this point because we'd left most of our luggage in Kuala Lumpur itself, so we're travelling very light.
Yes, because we were doing the same as we had in Colombo, which is a really good tip if you're doing a round trip. Leave the most of your luggage behind if you're like we were doing long-term travel, and then just travel light, and then it's just so much easier. We didn't have to worry about luggage, so that was great. So we caught the ferry. So we spent a few days in Penang, and we both love Penang, don't we?
We do. We did find ourselves doing the things that we'd done last time as well.
Yes.
Because you know where the nice food is, you know why the nice street art is, and we find ourselves repeating a lot of what we've done in the past.
I don't think we're quite as obsessive about the street art or the metal street art that's around, because I know when we were there last time, we were a bit obsessive about following the trails.
We're not bothered that it's 102 degrees. We're not bothered that we've had no lunch. We want to go and see 10 miles away.
Yeah, we literally wanted to take every single bit of street art off. This time we were a little bit more laid back. It was hotter this time.
A bit more controlled is probably the word.
Yeah, but it was hot though. So we stayed in the Monterey Grove, which is the same hotel we stayed in last time. We would probably not stay there again. We'd probably stay somewhere else in Penang,
the same area,
because it was nice enough. Happy, the staff were fine, and it's a nice hotel, lovely pool. So certainly nothing to complain about. We did enjoy it, and it's in a very good location, very close to the Red Garden Hawker Centre, which is our favourite place to eat.
Yeah, we've been there several times. When I say we'll stay in the same area, maybe not. I don't know actually thinking about it.
Yeah, I think maybe somewhere different. But so it was really good. So there are plenty of places to stay in Penang, so that's why I think we would stay maybe towards the jetty area next time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, possibly so.
But anyway, there's lots and lots of things to do and see in Penang itself. So this time we probably did, as I say, Doug said, we did a little bit less than we did. We weren't bombing around trying to find all the street art.
A little bit older as well, of course.
Yeah, that's true. We did go to the Chew Jetties.
Yes, we did. We like the Chew Jetty, didn't we? That was nice. Yeah,
now people actually live on the Chew Jetty, so just be mindful of that. We also went to Peranakan Mansion, which is UNESCO World Heritage.
You're not mentioning the durian ice cream that you tried.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, so on the Chew, at the Chew jetties, there are places where you can like buy souvenirs, buy food and drink. And there was one place that was selling
Their speciality was durian ice
durian
cream.
ice cream. So we decided we had, because I've tried durian before, but I couldn't really remember. And obviously the smell kind of puts me off.
Most people.
So we tried durian, and it was all right. You didn't like it, did you?
I didn't. I couldn't get past the smell, to be truthful.
Yeah, I think if you hold your nose, it might be the best bit. But yes, of course we did. So we had a walk up and down the jetty, took some beautiful photos, which I will share in the show notes. Yeah. And then we walked to the Peranakan Mansion. Now, we did have to buy tickets for that.
We did.
It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It was beautiful.
It was.
It was
really was.
beautiful. And I would highly recommend going and having a few, maybe an hour or two, maybe an hour and a half we were there.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Easy, yeah.
So, so definitely go to see the Peranakan Mansion. We also had a little bit of a wander around Little India. We went to Armenia Street, where you'll see a lot of the street art and some really nice little shops.
Yeah, some nice quirky little shops there.
Yeah. But mainly I think what we did in Penang for the few days that were there is eat.
This is true.
And you know something, and I know people will often list the types of food that they eat. For example, in Thailand, I go and I have da 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 da. I couldn't tell you really, because I just like all of it. Yeah. Obviously, I love satay chicken, if that goes without saying. Yeah. But I just don't think anything I ate I didn't love. I loved all of it.
No, we tried lots of different things at the street food, didn't we?
Yeah, and there's the Hawker Centre street market food place opposite Chew Jetties, which we also really liked.
Yeah, we did enjoy that.
Yeah, so those are good, and also pace yourself because it was very hot. We were there at the end of April, first few weeks of May, and it was very, very hot. So I was thinking about kind of standout meals or Hawker Centres, but honestly, just all of it is amazing.
I was going to say, I don't think any one.
It was all good. I mean, there were a couple of places that our daughter recommended. One was closed on the afternoon we got there. And the other one, it closed at 6:30 and we got there at 29 minutes past 6. Actually, it closed at 7, but the kitchen closed at 6:30. And I think we literally got to the door as they were turning the sign around to say closed. Yes. And unfortunately, it was our last opportunity to visit. So there's a lesson. That was a lesson that we learned, is that if and I normally do plan food, but because I was a bit au fait with there's so much to choose from. Yeah. But then when Dominic was like, you need to go and eat here, you need to go and eat there.
But what it does present is with another opportunity.
Yes.
You need to go back.
Absolutely. We need to go back. So as well as eating lots of food, we did do a couple of kind of day trips. So we, the previous trip we had gone to we got the Snake Temple, but I think that was actually in Georgetown itself.
Yes, it was.
But we took a trip to a fruit farm last time, which was fantastic because I love lots of the.
But it wasn't the season.
No, it was kind of August time, so it was better. So it wasn't the season for that. So we decided we'd go to the butterfly farm. So we did that, which was quite good. Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And we also went up to Penang Hill. Now you went to the Keklok Temple. Now, for me, it was too hot.
It was too hot. It was a bit of a climb, but it was just so hot and humid.
And it was busy because it was a public holiday. So something else to check.
Yeah.
We also didn't plan that very well because the driver took us to the butterfly farm first, then brought us back, and then took us to the actual temple. And to be honest, it would have been more cost effective to have done that on 2 separate days.
Yeah, because it was because of the private tour, he just asked us what we wanted to see.
Yeah. And I think we did not plan that as well as we normally would have done or should have done. So that, sometimes we make mistakes as well with things. Yeah. And on reflection, that's something I would look at. I would have done Penang Hill is much closer. I would have done that separately. Could have done that by public transport and then had the driver take us around the island like we had last time. I think
but it's worth saying that up to this point, we've travelled to several countries, lots of planning, lots of time spent over a computer. So I think by this time we thought maybe a little bit of overconfidence that we knew the place too well or well enough not to have.
I just thought we'd just make it up as we went at this point, because sometimes I do a lot of planning, and after 9 months I got to the point where I think we've been with Penang before, but there you go, there's a mistake. There you go. So sometimes it's worth looking at the map and actually listening to what your daughter tells you, because actually Dominic did say not to do it that way around.
She did indeed.
So yeah, I mean, one thing that I did find funny this time, which hadn't happened last time, is we walk into the Red Garden for food, and there were some monkeys crossing the street. Now, obviously, I know there's lots of monkeys in Malaysia, but I hadn't actually seen them.
We hadn't seen them there, but they looked like they were against the clock. They knew exactly what time they were getting there for their food. They were in a rush across the road, across the wires, and it was, the second they got there, my watch went straight on to 6:30 p.m. So I think that was dinner time.
I think so. It was really funny. They were definitely heading over there for the dinner. And they were going across climbing across the wires of the street. Got a great video of that as well. So again, that'll go on our YouTube when I get a chance to put the videos together. But I know, question we get often asked by people, like, where would you recommend that we go? For example, if we go to Malaysia, and I would say 100% Penang.
I most definitely would agree with that, yes.
Yeah, in fact, we'd like to live there for a bit.
We possibly would, yes.
I just would worry about eat too much food. But yes, it is amazing. It is well known for its food with very good reason. And as I say,
I love the people.
Yeah, people are lovely. It's very historic, beautiful place to visit. Yeah. So then we took the train to Ipoh.
We did, just a couple of hours journey. Obviously, back across the ferry, back to Butterworth Station, and then a couple of hours on the train there. We didn't do the first class on that one. We wanted to try the standard class.
It was fine.
And it was fine. Nice, comfortable seats, just the same. Yeah,
it was absolutely fine. So we decided to stay in a travel lodge, which was okay. It was absolutely fine. Breakfast I struggled a little bit with, but I would say I'm a kind of self-confessed picky eater.
Yeah, it was really not 100% catered for Western diet, so you could consider where you are.
Yeah, but the views from the room were great. The room itself was large. We actually did do some work while we were there.
The Wi-Fi was good.
Yeah, so we're able to do some podcasts and some work. Right, that was really good. But now we included Ipoh because we knew we were going back to Kuala Lumpur. And I just looked at a map. I did a bit of research on YouTube and I thought, well, Ipoh looks interesting.
We've not been.
Let's go. Yeah. So we probably wouldn't rush back to Ipoh. Probably I wouldn't, not. But because there's lots of other places I want to see in Malaysia. Yes. But I wouldn't not discount it if you're considering visiting. I think it's an interesting place to visit for a day or two. Again, it's very famous for its food. And you can go and explore some of the historic places like Concubine Lane.
Yeah, that's well known, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, you've got lots and lots of food stalls, street food. There was lots of food, wasn't there? Again,
some of the street art looked a little bit tired.
I think there was a street art trail that you could follow, and there was another couple actually who were following the trail because we were all taking photos, and some of the street art really is beautiful, but I would say it's starting to get a bit tired. It's not really being looked after, which is a bit sad. But
some of the streets the street art's on is not actually occupied
anymore. No, a bit overgrown and kind of fallen to bits a bit. So just prepared for that. Now some of the food that I enjoyed was this. I tried sendol. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is an iced sweet dessert. Now it's got like green jelly noodles, red beans, coconut milk. We had it in the shopping centre because we found a shopping centre with air conditioning, which we spent some time in. And I was desperate to try some of the desserts, and it was interesting.
Yeah, and some of the other things to try. I don't know exactly what the word to be truthful, but
tried them, and then I also we went to. Now I think this is quite a famous place, Lu Wong for bean sprout chicken, which didn't look great but tasted really good.
Yeah. Full of flavour.
And we just sat on our little plastic chairs. And in fact, when they were setting up, it was just the beginning of the evening, really. So it started to get very, very busy.
It's just like on the crossroads.
Yeah. There was lots of different places to go and try out different foods and buy things. So that was cool. So that was something that we did. And then another reason we had decided to go to Ipoh was to go to the temples.
Yes.
So we went to visit 3 temples in a row, all very different, all amazing, all beautiful. I have millions of photos of each of these. I don't know if you want to go through them.
Well, first off is the Po Tong temple, which you go straight through it and out the back, and you've got the beautiful gardens there. And it's really one of these places set for photos and videos.
Oh, just beautiful. And I have to say, all these temples are set in caves.
Oh, yes.
So just fantastic. So that Po Tong, you actually go through like a tunnel under a cave, and then you come out the other side, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you what's on the other side because you're going to have to go and check it out in the show notes, but it's well worth seeing.
Make sure you do.
So go and check out the show notes. And then next to that was the one with the pretty garden.
That's like the Thaum Tong.
Yep.
Which was, as you say, Very, very nice.
Beautiful garden. I've got, again, some beautiful pictures. And that one, you explored a bit more of the caves than I did.
Yeah, so I went around a bit further and looked at the different designs and talked to a couple of people, actually. They're really, really helpful, the staff there.
And then the last one in that row is the Ling Seng Tong temple, where you've got lots of colourful statues. There's a big Buddha. That was lovely. I mean, it's like little areas with all the different statues to take pictures of. And of course, like, lots of people were coming in, I don't know, like making prayers and leaving offerings. But it was, I've never seen anything like that, actually.
No, it's very important when you visit these places to be respectful and...
I mean, all these places, they're all free to enter, but you can leave a donation. Obviously, consider like how you dress. Make sure that you dress respectfully. Take some water with you. I can't stress that enough, just how hot and humid it was.
It was. And also be respectful when you're taking photos and videos.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we just got a grab each way. We have to say that was one of the really easy things to do in Malaysia, was just to order a grab. It's just Uber. That's what, to just download the app. That's what we had. And we used Grab all the time from our hotel. We used it in Kuala Lumpur, we used it in Penang, and we used it in Ipoh.
We did. It's very straightforward.
Really, and also got incredibly cheap as well. Then the next day we just had a work day, which is sometimes what we have to do when we travel.
We had to catch up and we had work to do,
and then we went back to Kuala Lumpur, didn't we?
We did, and that was straightforward. Instead of going into Kuala Lumpur Central Station, I decided we were going to stop off at Kuala Lumpur Station itself, which is the old traditional station, all colonial buildings, and just something a bit different. About the same distance to the hotel.
Yeah. And this is a big tip to take, because actually our daughter had booked exactly the same first-class train from Kuala Lumpur to Penang that we had, but they had gone to the old station.
Yeah, where there's no Ruby
There's
Lounge.
no Ruby Lounge. So they got there and they had no idea. So they actually had missed out on that really lovely experience and had to catch, because they were at the wrong train station. So if you are catching the train from Kuala Lumpur, make sure you know which train station you're leaving from.
Yeah.
But it was, lovely. We've got some lovely pictures of that as well. Right. And then, of course, we just ordered a grab and went back to the...
Went back to the hotel. I have to say, anybody who knows me, the hotel do a fantastic pot of tea.
Yeah, you did enjoy cups of tea.
I did have quite a lot of tea.
I have to say they did make a very mean gin and tonic as well. So we enjoyed. I enjoyed. That was really nice. We could sit in the bar, or you could have a gin and tonic, or you could have a cup of tea, like Doug did.
A pot of tea.
A pot of tea. Yes. And then, of course, we would head. What is really good as well about the location of that hotel is, it's very, very close to the food courts at Petronas Towers.
Yeah, and there's such a lot of selection there. You can,
So that's what we did. We basically went to have a look at the light show, which we'd seen before, but again, it's also worth going to see.
It's lovely to go and watch.
But again, even at that time of night, because you obviously have to wait until it's dark. That's when it starts. But it was lovely. One
little tip is to have a look around all the different food halls, because there's a shopping centre around the Petronas Towers, but also the one across the road we went to when we first arrived.
Yes.
But they wanted cash, didn't they?
Yes, that's a good tip, actually, because I think we'd got used to quite a lot in Europe just using contactless. And obviously when in Sri Lanka you needed to use cash there. And when we arrived in Malaysia, I kind of had thought, no, we'll be all right with contactless.
We left our cash and things in the safe, didn't we?
Yes, but we thought, well, in fact, we didn't have much Malaysian money. We didn't have much Malaysian cash at all. And we went to eat in this food court, and there was nobody that would accept contactless. They all wanted cash.
That's right.
Whereas it was different across the road at the Petronas Towers. We were able to use contactless. But actually that first night we were wondering where we were starving. That was actually the first night. That wasn't actually
that's where
the first night.
We caught the grab to when it was raining.
Yeah, first night. So we kind of learnt from that. So then we did go and get some cash out from a cash point and use that. So and another thing I was thinking about our favourite things that we did when we were there, and it always goes back to food, so I do apologise if you're not a foodie, but Malaysian food, it's a bit, I love Moroccan food and I love Malaysian food, they're probably my favourites, but I was kind of wondering the question about the best thing that we ate. What was the best thing? Can you think of the best thing you ate when you were there? Planning a trip to London, if you're looking for tours that are well organised, full of interesting stories and a pleasure to take part in, I can't recommend Walks and Devour tours enough. I've done several myself, from famous landmarks to amazing food tours, and every single one has been a real highlight. Their guides are great storytellers who make the city feel alive. The team really cares about the details and puts a lot of thought into making each experience feel special, comfortable and full of those "I'm so glad I did this" moments. You can find all my favourite tours at uktravelplanner.com/best London tours.
Well, I'll say the satay on the plane was pretty
pretty
impressive,
good.
very tasty. Yeah, I had some Vietnamese food when I was there actually as well, which was incredibly tasty as well.
It was such a huge variety of food.
Yeah, because you have so many small portions of things.
Yes, you can try a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And we did try a lot of stuff.
did.
And also I have to say one thing, if you do go to one of the food courts like we did, for example, in Penang, the thing to do is go and get yourself a table, make sure it hasn't got a reserved sign on it, and then order a drink. Somebody will come and take an order for a drink. So you have to have a drink.
Yeah.
You can order, we had watermelon juice because we love watermelon juice, and that was great. You have a great big vat of watermelon juice. So once you've done that, you can then go and have a wander around. Remember the number for your table. So Doug went and had a wander around and I sat chilling out.
Yeah.
And then I went and had a wander around. And you can just order from the different stalls and they'll bring it to you.
I was going to say, we don't always eat the same food from the same places, did we? We had multiple dishes from different stalls.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And then you have different people, and some you paid at the stall, and some would pay when they brought you the food. But yeah.
Sometimes we tried each other's.
Oh well, yeah, it depends. But yeah, I mean, so I think, and one of the things I did want to talk about, and I'm probably going to pronounce this totally incorrectly, was in Kuala Lumpur. Because I was a bit fascinated by all these amazing colourful desserts. So I tried a dessert called AIS, so Ais Kacang, or I'm going to apologise if you're from Malaysia, Kacang, which was basically like that shaved ice with different, I don't know what's in it, like coconut, different kind of like noodly things, and just beautiful colours and flavours, and just, it was huge. The one I ordered was huge, wasn't it?
We both ate it, didn't we?
It was massive. Again, if you want to see what that looked like, because I'm not doing a very good job of describing it, but you need to have a look at the photo, which I'll put in the show notes, because that was just fantastic. Now, we always get asked if we ate any weird foods, but I don't think in Malaysia we ate anything that was out of the ordinary.
No, I don't think so.
No, I guess when we did have the chicken when we were in Ipoh, I wasn't sure when it first came out because it didn't look very appetising, but my goodness, it tasted so
Lovely.
good.
There was something strange happened. I nearly had a cup of coffee once.
Really?
Not for long. I kept out the sun the rest of the day, just in case.
Oh well,
Sorry for you coffee drinkers out there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
now they drink coffee, so that's it. But what would we do differently? So obviously this is only the second time that we've been to Malaysia.
What I'll do differently, spend more time in Penang.
Yes. Probably spend more time in Malaysia. I'd actually like to go and spend
the Cameron Highlands we want to visit at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Cameron Island. I think there's so much more to Malaysia than we've yet to discover. I certainly would like to go to Borneo, so I'd like to go over there. And Malacca, I've heard, is amazing.
Maybe hire a car next time as well.
Yeah, well, we did talk about that, and you were a bit uncertain about it.
But after that last trip, I think, I could easily
you could drive. So that's really good. Is there anything else you think that we should say you would like to know before you arrive that would be useful? I think the cash thing. Know that you're probably going to need some cash. Again, make sure water bottle is really important. It's incredibly hot.
Yeah, try the food. Talk to the people. They are the most genuine, lovely people we ever,
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any other tips that you can think of? Because we always end the episode with the one tip we'd share with somebody planning to go.
I would look at the trains as well. They're reasonably priced and the service does look very good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think my tip would probably be to do what I didn't do and actually plan a little bit better if you're planning to do some of the day trips.
Yeah.
And also, I guess what I had when I'd done my research, one of the reasons that we wanted to go to Ipoh was to go to the Kuala Tong temple, which I had done some research on, seen on YouTube, and it looked absolutely amazing. What I didn't realise is that had shut the October previously. So October 2024, that had shut. So we got there in early May 2025, and it had been open. So we did not know that.
No,
so
but the temples we did visit were very
They
good.
were amazing, but I would really like to go to the Khel Luk Tong temple because it does look fantastic. And I know Shelley has been, and she was telling us how amazing it was.
That's right,
So I guess that was the one thing. We're pretty good on research, but it was one of the ones where we did not know until we got there, so we're a bit disappointed.
That's true, yeah.
And I think probably with Penang, I would been a little bit more conscious of when we had to drive exactly what we wanted to do and see.
Yeah, that's right. I think next time we go back to Kuala Lumpur as well, I would like to go back to the Batu Caves as well.
Yeah, well, it's an easy day trip from Kuala Lumpur.
Again, train. Yeah.
So now we ended that trip. I'll just let you know what we did after this. We actually, one of the reasons we chose that area and the particular hotel is that it's close to where we caught the aeroline bus to Singapore. Now, it's the second time we've done this. Yeah. As I've said, I don't like flying. It's an easy trip.
That's right.
It's about 6 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
And we just literally took our luggage, got a grab, took our luggage to the Chorus Hotel. The coach left at 10. It was 10 o'clock? Yeah. And then it stops along the way, so you get off and you can go and have, something to eat, a break. And then you get to Singapore, have to cross over, obviously, the border, so you've got to do the border formalities. Back on the coach, and then actually dropped off. And we dropped off right beside our hotel that we're staying at, weren't we? Not too far.
No, that was really, really good. It's actually very, very simple. It's double-decker.
Yep, really comfortable.
Bus, a coach, and we had the front seats. In fact, the same seats we had
last time
we did it.
Yeah.
And a little meal was brought too. Again, a little entertainment unit.
Yep.
And so, they're very straightforward.
So that's probably my major tip, actually. If you're going to go to Kuala Lumpur and you're going on to Singapore, take the coach, don't fly.
Yeah, there's nice things to look at as well. Some nice scenery, and the weather was nice. And
I just sit back and relax. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that kind of wraps up our Malaysia trip. Yeah. We have got a full itinerary of what we did with a bit more information about the different things we saw. So a little bit more, obviously, about the Chew Jetties, about the Peranakan House, about what they actually are, because we can't go into too much detail on it.
Yeah, it's worth reading up a bit on that.
Yeah, and the different accommodation that we chose and stayed in. So that's all in there, and also pictures of the food that we tried, which could be a whole blog post on its own. So they're all in the show notes as well. So you can look in the show notes. You can actually find there the link to the whole itinerary. We've also got an article with top tips for first-time visitors to Malaysia. So you can find those at globaltravelplanning.com/episode 67. But as always, we love to hear from you. So do leave us a message via SpeakPipe. Again, you can find that in the show notes. Leave us a review. Please leave us a review. We'd love to hear more of what if you're enjoying our podcast. Just hop on. If you're on Apple, you can leave a review. On Spotify, you can leave a review. And we get alerted of that. And it does help other people to find the podcast.
Yeah, it really does, yeah.
But we appreciate your support, don't we?
Most definitely. Thank you.
So I guess that just leaves us to say, as always, until next week,
happy global travel planning.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Global Travel Planning Podcast. For more details and links to everything we discussed today, check out the show notes at globaltravelplanning.com. Remember, if you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving us a review on your favourite podcast app, because your feedback helps us reach more travel enthusiasts just like you. Anyway, that leaves me to say, as always, happy global travel planning.